look at all these events, all these facts, there seems to be something wrong, or as they say in Shakespeare, there seems something rotten in the streets of Denmark. Is it Denmark? Yeah, I think so. Hamlet, right? So, how do you explain that now? Let me ask you, referring back to the statement, 8.5 billion pesos of your company, Pharmally, in the Philippines, importation for ps-dbm. It seems that you come after the fact when Lincoln Ong was already in trouble. You said, no, you don't put, yeah, I will say that Michael Young really was helping us. They lent us money. And then when Dargani was in trouble, then you come out and say, I make inquiries, but actually you were ready to pay $140,000 into the pier to get them to Dubai. You never even lifted the finger and say, hey, buddy, we have nothing to hide. You stay there. We'll fight it out. We'll fight it out. We have nothing to hide. We're honest people. I didn't see that. All right? So what is happening into the pier, especially in the circumstances that, wow, you must have gotten along with it. They're living in Davao. That's the president's hometown. They will be protected out there. Wow. And as Harry Roque said, oh, the government cooperated with the Blue Ribbon Committee. Huh? They were able to get, it was the immigration authorities and the customs authorities that made the information. No, sir. They allowed the Gargaris to ride on the plane, and upon our instructions, they were going to be arrested only when they're in the plane about to take off. And that's exactly what happened. So all this leads to a conspiracy once again of trying to, escape accountability. Mr. Wang, alias Yenny Sonson.
Mr. Honorable Chairman, I don't think we have that kind of influence that you are insinuating, citing for the fact that
I'm not insinuating anything. I go by the facts.
In your custody. I mean, what influence and power are you talking about? I don't see any from any point of view. I already told you, we're not connected to the government. We're just trying to make projects, and we overreach. I guess we reach for we are
not overreaching. If you had been a camaraderie, you would have said, yes, actually, I made an inquiry with the air charter services, trying to help my friend get out. Yeah, I made the preliminary statements. Don't blame me because I'm just being a friend. You probably...
But that's what I said.
It never came to your mind, right?
But that's what I said in that... You saw the statement. That's what I said. I made inquiries first, and I handed over to him because I said I don't know.
And right away, you never even said that, hey, don't go out because you're going to put me in trouble, as you are in trouble right now. You're sweating buckets right now. Anyway, again, I'm off to another start here. I'm asking you, how come you cannot account for what we have discovered and that, can you go to the next slide, that one, 7.9 unaccompanied, and there are about 3.4 billion, was it? There are 3.5 billion unknown suppliers. You know what that means? Even from the very beginning of this inquiry, there was a lie already. A lie supported by the fact that they had to pay additional taxes. You are Mr. Tiger, Phil.
I don't know, Mr. Tiger.
I'm beginning to, you can't blame us if we say maybe the supplies never came. The Alamo, they never arrived. The reinforcements never arrived.
Mr. Chairman, I can provide, I said in my fears, I can provide.
And provide us with the detail of all this, because we have to know whether people, the supplies that you said were actually brought in all the way down to the people who needed it. That's what we're trying to find out. We're not happy we're doing this. It's hard going, but we're trying to find out what your company has done, and your record isn't exactly smooth, and your friends are in high places. You were with the president. You were with Lincoln Ong. Lincoln Ong sits down with the president, and he stops to the president with a short spoon, as Michael Young, And Michael Young is at the center of these things. He doesn't pay taxes. And now your people don't even report that you have people in the other corporations that should have been reported to the BIR. So the long arm of the law has come in and embraced you, all of you.
Mr. Chairman, if the question is whether we have delivered, I don't understand why the burden lies with us. We have the parties accepting it, show that we have delivered. We have shown proof that we have delivered, and now we can show photo proof for each contract that we delivered at the warehouse with the thing itself. So what I don't understand why the burden of proof lies whether we purchased it and how much we purchased it at. If the price was an issue, then everybody who bid above our price in every single contract should be brought here, because they are attempting to scam the government in your statement, perhaps. But every single merchant just offers a price, and so but from what I've read so far is that we offer the lowest price. So I don't know why we are the only one crucified here if you're talking about our price. But in terms of delivery per se,
Don't worry, we'll crucify others.
we have
Don't
proved we
worry about
delivered.
that.
But
Just
what
worry
you
about yourself.
it feels very we feel very pressured in that we need to show our books, our costs. How does that relate to determining why does that determine how is that determining whether I thought the determination is whether we delivered?
Either lying and amoral. I think you're both. Because you can't seem to distinguish anymore. Your company has done a great disservice to our country from the findings of this committee from the very beginning. Every stage of the investigation was accompanied by a lie. It's just like false news, fake news. You know? Now, let me ask you a simple question then. Who is Dennis Morris? Daniel Morris. Morris Daniel.
Morris Daniel is the name that Mohit told me to to communicate with.
The statement in the letter says the initial inquiry came from Jensen Wang and was then handed over to Morris Daniel, who signed the contracts for both Business Beyond Limits, OPC, and also Rocks Trading. So it's one whole sentence.
And
You must have known Daniel Morris, right? Or Morris Daniel.
I believe maybe Morris Daniel is.
Please answer the question forthrightly and honestly.
I believe Morris Daniel is probably a name that Mohit made up.
It's just a name.
Just a name. Because I passed the contact to Mr. Dargani.
Did you say that Mohit Dargani invented the name? Did you just say that?
I do not know.
You said I believe. I said I believe that it could be an invented name.
It could have been.
Made up.
But as I said, I handed over.
Did you say that? Did you just say that?
Mr. Chairman, I said I handed
Did you
over.
just say that?
I'm not sure, Mr. Chairman.
How can you not sure? You just said it.
I said I handed, as I said in my statement, I handed it to Mr. Dargani.
No, just a while ago.
In my real statement,
I believe that Mojit Dargani might have just invented the name.
If you're asking me if do I know this person, I don't know this person.
No, I asked you that, but you said your answer was, I believe Mojit Dargani made up the name.
No, then I said, you asked me, do I know a Morris Daniel? I said, no. Then you say, whom that this Morris Daniel be? I said, maybe, perhaps, Mr. Dargani made up the name.
Oh, there you go.
But I don't know for certain.
There you go, made up the name.
As I said, clearly, I handed the thing to Mr. Dargani.
All right, it's enough. It's enough. You've said it, and I'm satisfied with that. Now, you know about Business Beyond Limits, right?
Yes.
And you're not surprised that Business Beyond Limits is suddenly there in the letter?
As I said, I handed it to Mr. Mohit Dargani. I did not follow up afterwards. So I don't know the date of the flight. I don't know the exact details of the flight. I did not pay for the flight. I did not sign the contract.
I did not ask you those questions, but you knew that you were trying to find out about the flights, and you knew that you were going to be charged $150,000.
I was not going to be charged $150,000.
On the way to Dubai.
I'm not going on the flight. Why would I be charged for it?
All right. Okay, I just know.
Mr. Chan, I just need you to be fair here. I already told, since the start, I've said the truth. And you're asking me things to speculate things. I've tried to.
I'm not asking you to speculate. You were the one who said. You're the one who said I did not put words in your mouth.
You asked me who is Morris Daniel. I said I don't know. Then you ask me to be offer someone with what I think Maurice Daniel is. Then I'm trying to.
I believe he might have made up his name, right? You just
I
again.
to be honest, Mr. Chairman, you can ask me to think I don't know. No, if I know, I will say. But if I don't know, I cannot
It's
say.
also that you tend to raise your voice. You were very humble until I
I,
brought this letter up. You suddenly were flaring up. You're melting down. You're raising your
no,
voice, and
no,
you're agitated. Obviously, I can see that you're agitated, right?
because you
Are you
are saying
angry?
you are saying I felt that there was some. I already said since the start when you asked me about this flight that I
But you
made
got agitated, right? You got angry because you got caught in the lie, right?
there was no lie in my statement. Not a word of my
Oh,
said is a lie.
the words speak for themselves that you made the inquiry and formally.
So you
Then when
showing
I asked you about Dennis, Morris Dennis, you say, oh, he must just have made up. Morris Daniel.
because I handed to Mr. Mohit Dagani.
All right, okay. I'll leave you at that. Why would you use a fake name if your flight is innocent? Anyway, besides, I don't think you can get away with it when you book a flight unless you paid a lot of money, and you do have a lot of money. I mean, even if it's $40,000, $50,000, it's still a lot of money. Uh, than the $140,000, which is 6.9 million, and the $50,000, 2.5 million pesos, right? But anyway, let me go to Mr. Dergani. Mujit,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
well, did you make up the name?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Who is that?
Mr. Morris Daniel was the local person assigned to me by Gary Wong.
We have a Gary Wong and we can't find him. You don't have the information on Gary Wong up till now? Then there's a Maurice Daniel. Who's this guy?
I also don't know Morris Daniel, as I just got his information from Gary Wong, and I asked Mr. Wong to have Morris Daniel be the point person.
You ask him. You talk to him, actually. Of course you did. He had to book a flight for you. Not every person can book a chartered flight from Davao to first to Dubai and then later on somebody had to make a decision. Oh, we're not going to wait for it. We have to leave already. Just book us somewhere where you can get a commercial flight. And the chosen area was Kuala Lumpur. So you knew Morris Daniel, right?
No, I don't know Morris Daniel personally, but
And how
yes,
did you
I just
communicate
spoke
with
to
him
him.
then to book the flight?
I just spoke to him on WhatsApp.
You spoke to him on your WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Did you text him? Before you called him, you probably had to text him, right?
Yeah, just like an introduction that I was referred by Mr. Gary Wong to get in touch with you, etc.
All right, then we can look at that phone. Anyway, it's of no moment at the moment, but it might be later on relevant. Now, uh, you use the words business beyond limits. Why?
They asked for a company name, so that's the one that I can think of.
Because you control that and you put your girlfriend there, right? And Miss Mago, right? And Miss Mago will do anything for you, right? Come on, Mujit, you're in enough trouble. Try and come back to the fold. Don't be a Darth Vader. The truth shall set you free.
No?
What do you think? What?
don't remember.
Mojit, you want to change your mind and tell the truth finally? You have to know Maurice Daniel.
Mr. Chairman, I already mentioned what I know, and I already gave
That's your
conclusion.
friend, right? And he helped you.
Marine transcript.
After all,
Maurice
the
Daniel
plane was
transcript.
coming from Singapore. And Mr. Wang was in Singapore. So he arranged it. And then you have a name, the name of Maurice Daniel, right? And then you use, again, was there an authorization from Better Business, Business Beyond Limits? I'm sorry, I'm used to BB, Better Business, Business Beyond Limits, authorizing you to charter a plane? Was there? Mujit? I don't enjoy
No,
this, Mujit. Believe me, I don't enjoy it.
no,
I don't
no,
enjoy having to say
there's
no to your
no.
mother, all right? I really feel for your mother. But try to come and see your way clear and come back to the truth. Might be easier. It will relieve your sister of the stress that you put her in. Tell the truth for a change. Come on, Mojit. You know, when I saw you before, I thought you were a good man. You look like a good man. I didn't even believe the stories of some of your friends who know you, who tell me. You pop champagne bottles when you were in a bar just to enjoy. Sprinkle champagne bottles all over the bar. I didn't even ask you about when Twinkle had her birthday. Did you go to Balisane Island? Chartered the plane again to go to Balisane Island? Did that happen? Mojit,
No, that did not happen.
are you sure? Don't say another lie. That your sister had a birthday party in Balisane Island and you brought people out there? Right?
Mr. Chairman, that never happened.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, but I'll have to extend another hearing and get the parties to tell you who they are. What is rocks trading?
That's the one that Morris used because when Morris asked me first for a company name, I gave BBL, but I told him I'm not comfortable to use that either. So I told him, can he be the one to take care of the company? And he said yes. So I don't know Rocks Trading either.
Somebody you don't know is able to do all this. He must be a CIA or a agent of the KGB in the old days who can fix things. You know that your story is very flimsy. You know that. Come on, Majid. Come clean. So where is Rocks Trading located? And why do you know of it? Come on. Speak up.
As I mentioned, I don't know Rocks Trading either.
Come on. We're not stupid here, you know. You just use Rocks Trading from out of the blue. You don't know. And you suggested it to Morris. Come on.
As I mentioned, Mr. Chairman, I asked Morris to provide the company name. So it was
You
him
found
who
out.
actually suggested it.
Where is Morris located? Where is Morris based?
I
You
don't
see,
know, Mr.
you're
Chairman.
going to be push and push and push. And you're going to look stupid because it's like, you know, your clothes are being removed until finally, like Adam, when he ate of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, they were driven out naked. You don't know where Morris is from? And you let Morris decide? Rocks trading?
I trusted Gary.
Oh, you trust him. I thought you didn't know him.
I said I trusted Gary.
Oh, Gary, but you didn't know Gary either. You just met him in a bar. You expect the whole country to believe you that you trusted Gary? There's a long line of questions that shows that you're lying, you're tentative, you're what you call evasive, and that you're adjusting your answer to the question. What's the other word for it? Oh my God. So tired from all the things that we're facing in the country right now, including this major disaster. There's a word for it. You are concocting. You're reinventing the answers. Come on, Mohit, speak up. You used to be a good man. You could be a good man again. I don't think you're evil, but you're beginning to turn into the black. Sure, you're a fan of Star Wars, right? No answer? Morris could possibly. Is Morris in America, or in Singapore, or Davao? Come on, Mojit. Be a credit to the Indian people here. I know a lot of very good Indian people. Don't paint yourself into that. Whether you like it or not. You know, I thank your mother for me, but I had to return that birthday Christmas cake that she sent to me. I don't really accept Christmas gifts from people I don't know, and I return it. Just as I returned somebody from Cagayan de Oro who sent me ham because they thought they were going to be part of an investigation. Hamba or crabs? Crabs. Just somebody sent me a gift to help him in citizenship. I have all this recorded, boy. But I sympathize with your mom. That's why God invented mothers, because God could not be around all the time. But mothers will always be there for you. Try to be a credit to your mother. I don't like to hurt your mother. Speak up and tell the truth once and for all. And let's get rid of this bad nightmare. Come on, Mohit, speak up. Everything that you've done got unraveled. You tried to escape, you got caught. Then you got caught, we found out who paid for the plane. And now you're saying a parcel of lies again. From Gary, whom you met in a bar, to Morris, whom you don't know. Come on, rocks trading. And you don't even have any authority from the company. Business Beyond Limits, where you put Grace Mago, and Sophia Custodio. Come on. And Sophia doesn't show up all the time. And now Rose Dono doesn't want to show up. And then Wei Xiong, your partner, doesn't want to show up. You see how it looks to us? One lie after the other. One lie magnified after the other. We didn't do the lies. Now your friend is also in trouble, Wang. Would you like to speak about it in private? But it'd be better if you just say it. Okay, I'll tell everything. You believe the lie that you're above the law. I'll ask you again. Where is Morris from? Don't even bother to ask. Where is Morris Daniel from?
I don't know where he's from, Your Honor.
You just trusted him. You just trusted him to say rocks. I can't believe you don't know rocks. I'll give you two answers. There's a rocks trading in India, and you're Indian. And there's a rocks trading in Buhangin, Davao, JP Laurel Street. Which one is which? Do you have relations in India who own rocks trading? Baka pinahamak mo na naman uli yun. Or you have a friend who owns rocks trading? Because I'm going to call rocks trading from Davao and ask him to sue you because you're putting them in ill repute. Are you going to answer? Don't waste your time, please. Come on, Mohit. You know the gig is up.
No comment, Mr. Chairman.
No comment. No comment means you're evasive. Mr. Kimbo, may I ask you to invite rocks trading in Davao next time?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, rocks trading is not SE registered. We asked the Department of Trade and Industry if they are registered, and we're awaiting the reply. We've made our
Do they have a name, a face?
none, sir. Yeah, none, sir. We will find out, sir.
I really
Just,
want to finish this investigation already, but it's really the president, it's really these lies that are dragging this investigation. Hindi naman kami. Mohit, by the way, please tell your mother I have nothing against her, and I pray for her, and I really sympathize with her. Okay? No answer. All right. We'll stop there for the escape from Davao phase of the investigation. I will now ask you a question. Is it not true that Lin Wei Xiong is the financial manager of Pharmally? Mr. Mohit Dargani?
Based on the record, yes, because he, as I mentioned that, as in our previous hearings, I did not mention it, but it was mentioned that Michael Yang did help Pharmally and acted as a guarantor.
I'm talking about Lin Wei Xiong. He's a financial manager. He's a friend of Michael Yang. He has a position in your company. Mohit Dargani is corporate secretary, and Lin Wei Xiong is financial manager. Now the cat is out of the bag. That's why he's been in Dubai all the time. That's why he's contracted a second COVID illness in Dubai. Come on, Mohit. You know the gig is up. Speak up. Tell the truth. Free yourself of this pestilence in your mind. You're young. How old are you? How old are you?
28, Mr. Chairman.
28. My gosh. You have a whole lifetime ahead of you, and you can fix your life. Especially come out honorably here. There's still a chance to come out honorably, admit your errors, and maybe you can have a new life. I don't want to say this. If you feel your father failed you, don't let him tell you that. Tell yourself that. I will rectify myself. That's the beauty of man. He can reinvent himself. That's why there's confession, there's penance. So he's a financial manager, correct? He's the watchdog of Michael Yang. He looks after the money interest, right? Come on, Mohit.
He was just placed as a financial manager for that particular.
Who placed him? Who placed him? Did you? Did you place him?
It
Did
was
you
the
place
board.
him? Who?
The board.
The board. Oh, that board again. Who are in the board?
Lincoln
Speak up.
Ong, Wang Chuyen, and myself. My sister is not involved in any of the operations or transactions, so she doesn't.
Again, who there? Lin Wei Xiong is in the board.
No, he's not.
Okay. Who are the other ones in the board? You yourself, Lincoln Ong,
Mr. Wang Chuyen,
Wang Suyan, the president. What is it taking you such a long time to say who's in the board?
I answered the question, Mr. Chairman.
No, you only answered Mr. Wang yourself. Sino ba?
I answered myself, Mr. Wang, Mr. Lincoln, and my sister. But she
Mr.
has
Lincoln. O, sabi mo, your sister has nothing to do with it. Binabawi mo naman ngayon. So, she's also in the board. Ah. Sino pa? That's 4. Ano ba dyan?
Mr. Garado left the company in 2019.
Ganado left the company. Who replaced him?
Nobody replaced him, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Lincoln Ong, Mohi Dargani, Twinkle Dargani as president, Wang Suyan. That's it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
When you say that Mr. Lin Wei Xiong was appointed by the board to
Yes,
be the
Mr.
financial
Chairman.
manager?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Just for
Who
that.
nominated him?
Extra.
Who nominated him?
I can't remember. That's almost 2 years
That's
ago.
convenient. You know, there's always a convenient answer. I can't remember. How can you not remember? You're dealing with a billion peso corporation. Financial manager, you can't remember? Was it Michael Young? Come on. Man up. Apat lang kayo. Twinkle, did Twinkle nominate him? Mr. Wang, did you nominate Mr. Lin Wei Xiong as a financial manager? Mr. Wang.
Mr. Chairman, I think I agree. I think what Mr. Mohit Dagani said is Mr. Michael Young acted as a guarantor for our finance for the suppliers that we will pay them after. So I believe that's why I think perhaps why Mr. Ling Wei Xiong was.
The question is very simple, Mr. Wang. Who nominated Lin Wei Xiong? Financial manager is a very important position. Under the bank accounts. He handles how do we pay all these importers? Come on, Mr. Wang. What's your answer?
I think
The record will say that there is a long pause between questions and answers from both of you and Mr. Mojit Dargani, and I'm putting that on record. What's the answer?
I think that that's what Mr. Garni said, that we have an obligation to pay back our suppliers after we receive our collections, and therefore he was placed in there as a form of guarantor, so that when we receive the collections, we would pay back immediately.
And who nominated him is a question, my boy. Who
I
does he
don't-
represent?
Don't really know who he represents. But I believe he's just looking out for the interests of our suppliers.
Can you speak a little louder, please? Shall I
I
show you
believe-
the pictures? Pinakita niya na eh. At the beach. Everybody is there. I know many of those people there. Lin Wei Xiong is there. You're there. I'm sorry. Michael Yang is Alan Lim, alias Lin Wei Xiong. There is a there. Senator Bongo. Senator Alan Peter Cayetano is there. Who nominated them?
Mr. Chairman, I was not on that trip.
Okay, another picture. Oh. Is that Mr. Lin Wei Xiong, Mr. Wang?
Yes. Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
You know him, right?
Yes.
Who nominated him?
I'm not too sure who nominated
You're
him,
not too sure. You're the president. Not too sure.
but I've not met him for a long time, since
You've not met him for a long time. Another picture. He's with the president, huh? Oh, next. And Mr. Michael Yang. Oh. There is a drug personality, not that one. Oh, there. Is he there? Lin Wei Xiong. Saan yan?
Mr.
Lin Wei Xiong is in the man at the right. Michael Yang is in the middle.
I'm
Dennis
not,
Dizon, Foreign Undersecretary Manuel Antonio Tihanki are also in the picture.
Mr. Chairman, if you're asking me based on these pictures, do I think that
No. Based on, I'm just saying that
Because I
he
thought
must be very influential because you don't appoint a financial manager without